Hey squad, welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. So today I'm very excited to do my very first review for Bear Forest knives. Now this is not a paid or sponsored review. This is actually a knife that I bought for myself using my own money that I had had my eyeball on this knife for a while and decided to treat myself. So let's take a look at this bad boy. This is from Bear Forest Knives. You might have seen it if you follow me on Instagram. You might have seen it in some of my posts and Instagram pictures. This is called the Simple, and I of course will give you all of the specs on this as we get into this, but I wanted to get started. It was a nice day today, so let's go ahead and show you a little bit of footage of what this thing can do, and then we'll get into the specs and we'll talk about sharpness and all of the above. Stay with me now. All right, just to start us off, I did some simple bushcraft tasks here, just kind of playing with notches and things like that, and different shapes that you would do when you're bushcrafting, and did fine, just as well as you would expect. And the Simple performed flawlessly when it came to working with wood to make some very simple feather sticks and snare notches and things like that, which is exactly what I would expect, but had to give it the test for the video. And of course, I performed all of my sharpness tests, and the Simple performs really well. All right, so let's take a look at the craftsmanship on this thing. Really going to give you a good look at this. And this is 8 inches overall, 4-inch blade length. Let me show you the other side of that. Really beautiful craftsmanship. Love the tiger stripes there on the blade. Micarta handle, really cool green flame design. Just beautiful, beautiful piece of craftsmanship. Now, the Simple comes with a Scandinavian grind, which most people doing bushcraft type tasks prefer. What that means is that the angle of the edge comes up equally on both sides. It's very, very sharp, very, very strong, very durable, and it's an even edge all the way from the hilt to the tip, right? So there should be no changes in terms of that. And to the naked eye, I can tell you that this is really, really well done. Just got a little bit of piece of paper on there from that paper test. And I've been using this now for a couple months. I really wanted to run this one through its paces before I did the review. And I actually have not sharpened it since I got it. So out of the box, this is the same level of sharpness that I got on that paper test that you just saw, was the out of the box. After working with this for several months, working with little whittling tasks, bushcraft tasks, things like that, processing some food with this and stuff, it still has a really good edge retention. And the reason for that is that this is a 52-100 high carbon steel. Okay, so a little different than, this is also what makes this knife more pricey than some of the other knives that I've shown you. High carbon steel is a much higher quality steel, which will hold an edge much longer. It has a higher durability factor, a higher hardness rating, and the only downside with high carbon steel is that the user has to do a little bit more effort to make sure that it doesn't get any corrosion over time. And the best way to do that is to use a good oil on your knife periodically. What I recommend personally is to use a mineral oil, a food grade mineral oil, because I use my knives also to process food, not just wood and things like that. When I'm out doing camping and hiking, things like that. I also like to process food with this. So, and you could process game with this as well. So I recommend you use a food grade oil such as mineral oil, and just periodically you're just going to give it a light coat, right? So if those of you who have firearms and pew pew pews, same thing. You're going to give them a little coat of oil once in a while to prevent corrosion. That's all. It's just a precaution. As long as you do this, this will last you a lifetime. So one other thing that may be important to some of you out there is this is made in the United States. And I'm going to talk to you about Bear Forest knives in just a minute here. I'll give you a little bit of their story. But a lot of you are always commenting, wish you would cover more USA made knives. Well, here you go. Here's a great company made in the United States. Go ahead and support them. Handle is micarta, which is like really nice and grippy, especially when I found if my hands are getting a little bit sweaty. It's almost like it got more grippy as it got sweaty. I know that's hard to explain, but if you have micarta handles, you know what I'm talking about with that. Even though it feels really smooth to the touch, the more I used it and the more sweaty my hands would get, my grippiness got even better with it. So micarta is a really nice handle material, and I think you're going to like that. And look at that again. Let's take another look at that green flame design. Really beautiful. This is a really nice piece. It's not just a workable bushcraft knife. This is a piece of art. And I'll be honest with you, when I got this out of the box, my first thought was, I don't even want to use it because it's so pretty. I don't want to, ding it up. But knives are made to be used. Yeah, it's okay to have some trophy queens and safe queens and things like that you never take out into the bush. I've got a few of those myself. This one here, though, is definitely going to get some use. Two other features that I want you to be aware of as a bushcraft knife is this does have a 90-degree spine on the back, which is perfect for sparking your ferro rods off of. It's a feature that a lot of people look for with a bushcraft knife. And the tip runs pretty darn close to the center line of the knife, which is going to give it a little bit more strength, right? So some knives have the tip more over here. And that's okay for different types of tasks. Maybe you're using it as a chef's knife, things like that. But for a bushcraft knife, when we talk about a bushcraft knife, it's got to be able to do a lot of hard work out in the woods, processing wood for fires, making snares for trapping animals, making shelters, survival type situations, right? Even crafting furniture and things like that out in the woods. You want to have that tip close to the center line of the knife, and this one definitely does that well. Another nice feature for this one that I think you should be aware of. Now, it will ship with a Kydex sheath with your belt loop clip. These Kydex sheaths are also made in-house by Bear Forest Knives, USA made, right? And I want you to check this out. It's got really good retention. Really good retention. I can do cartwheels with this thing and it ain't coming out. And if I want to pop it out, you just hit that little thumb part there and it pops right out, ready to go. Really quick deployment, but really good retention also, all right? And beautifully done craftsmanship on the Kydex sheath here too. Let me show you that real quick. All right. You can't really go wrong with this. They have a bunch of other knives. Definitely want you to check them out. Check out their website. I'll drop the link in the description down below. Again, please keep in mind, this is not a paid endorsement. This is not a sponsorship. This knife was not given to me for free to do this review. I'm doing this because I like this knife and I want you to check it out and check out their company. Now, very soon, I'm going to be going to Georgia Bushcraft, and I believe Bear Forest Knives is going to be there. If I get a chance to talk to them, I certainly will. And if I can film some footage, I certainly will. If you end up buying one of their knives, or if you like this video, go ahead and let them know. They're on Instagram. Just let them know Prepping with Sarge sent you over, because I certainly would love to work with them in the future, but this is not a paid sponsored video. All right, last little bit. I just want to tell you a little bit about Bear Forest Knives, since so many of you have asked me, cover more American knife makers. But Bear Forest Knives is set in Palm Desert, California. Their designs, and they have numerous designs, definitely check out their website, blend traditional tools with modern adjustments. I love that. If you watch my show, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a big supporter of taking old primitive world skills and combining that with modern knowledge. That's why I support not just natural medicine and plant medicine, but also modern medicine. Same idea with the knife making. Why would we forsake things that we have learned in the past 50 years or so, knife making has really taken some leaps and bounds in terms of what they can do with steels and knife design. Their supply chain is American made and handcrafted. Bear Forest Knives walks the line, and I'm reading from their website right now, walks the line of trusty, durable adventure tools with something that makes people also want to take a second look. They use a variety of materials, using only the best carbon and stainless steels, such as 80 CRVV2, 1095, 52100, which this one is 52100, 1084, AEBL, Nitro V, and W2 for custom. They love these steels because of their strength and durability, real-world applications, and the use of resharpening. Again, their handle scales often include micarta, G10. I'm also a big fan of G10. They have some wood scales for those of you who prefer natural materials like elm, dogwood, Osage orange, poplar, podock, ironwood, white oak, and red oak, even antler. Definitely check that out. And they use two-part assembly Corby bolts to keep the scales securely attached to the knife. Again, I don't think we're ever going to have a problem with that for the duration of my life, and maybe this even gets passed on to somebody long after old Sarge isn't here anymore. Kydex sheets are made in-house with 0.80 Kydex in various colors, graphics, and textures, and again, really impressed with that Kydex sheet that this came with. This is a great company. I want you to check them out. Again, Bear Forest Knives might be the way to go. If you're looking for a grail knife that you deserve because you saved up for and you want something that is not only as gorgeous as that, but as functional. I mean, look at the craftsmanship on that. It's absolutely amazing. Also very, very functional piece of art. There you go. That's the way to go. Folks, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to check out Bear Forest Knives. I'll put a link to them in the description down below, as well as several other links for other companies that I think you'll enjoy. There's even a few discount codes in there that I think you'll find helpful. Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.